All right, everybody, this is Steve, D9 Games. I'm going to make a priest today. So I'm going to have my character sheet ready. And I got my PDF to my left on my laptop. I'm going to get this thing going on. So the first item, I believe it's on page 34. Let me take a quick look down there. 34 is how to make a character. So yeah, page 34 on a PDF will have, I believe there's 13 or 14 little points to help you go through. It's super simple. So I made some notes on my sheet here so I know. You can see the ones. So the first order of business is just to notice that your physical, coordination, and mental are all base score 5. So those are the 5s, and 5 represents like, I've talked about this before, but like standard adult, maybe a teenager who's hasn't done a lot other than mundane stuff around the village. So we're starting with that. Number 2 is earn pop. So you get what the game master decide as a group, or maybe your game master is making these decisions, is how much points of progression you're starting with. With no experience, you get about 30 a year starting at age 13. So if you remember, the other characters that we drew up were right around age 19, which gave them somewhere around 200 points. So we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to have earned pop 200. And our priest, and we'll get to his backstory and occupation in a minute or two, but he started a little earlier, so maybe his father was a spiritual man, and so taught him how to pray instead of punch to get things done. So we're going to do 200 pop, but we're going to say he's only 17, so he started younger than some of our other guys. So age 17, we're going to go for a priest. And I don't even know about his background, but let's spin over to backgrounds. He did work with his father, so maybe there's something there. And I know Jim's a big fan of having an occupation that guides you toward priest, but we're on the fence about that as a group. So let's see what we have here. I mean, we could do hermit or herbalist. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say hermit, because he and his father, and his mom passed away when he was very young, but he and his father, the type of divine or spiritual activities that these guys participated in was looked kind of down upon in the community, because remember, Timber Spout's looking toward these symbols from the elves as their savior or divine protection. So these guys say, no, it's not about that. We think it's something more. So we're going to say he and his father were hermits kind of outside of town. And as a hermit, one of the things we can put on the back of this under progress, hermit, is, and the word we use is survival. So hermit, and anything having to do with survival. Our priest, unnamed at the moment, will have a die of ease when dealing with survival, which could be good. So we have a 17-year-old priest hermit with 200 pot. That's number 2. Number 3 is spent. So how much are we going to spend? We're going to spin over to priest on our PDF and find out what a priest requires. Become a priest if you want to support your allies with healing and divine assistance. Priests in the Twilight of Fae are all about faith and protecting those who cannot protect themselves. Priests act with 1 degree of ease while divinely aiding others. So if this priest is going to put up a bless or a heal, he will do it with ease, 1 degree of ease. So the prerequisites for priests is physical 7, mental 7. So we're going to put a little note here. We need 7 physical, 7 mental, and coordination has no requisite, so it could be anything. To get to a 7, which is 2 upgrades, is 30 points. So he's going to have plenty of points here. The priest is going to cost 30, and physical and mental are going to cost 30 each. 10 to get to 6, 20 to get to 7. But as we've done with some of the other characters, since we're starting at a quote-unquote level 2, 200-point character, let's go with an 8 physical. Let's do an 8 physical and a 7 mental, and then just see where that takes us, because we might save some pop there. So that spends us 30 pop down here. and 10, 20, 30, 70 pop on physical. So that's 130. So right now our priest has spent 130 to get 8 physical, 7 mental, and the priest package. Oh, actually make that 140 for the hermit. So we got 60 points left. He might want to put a little bit into coordination. So let's put 30 into coordination, which is just as we did. No, 30's 2 upgrades, taking a 5 to a 7. Yeah, same thing we did with mental. So that takes us to 170. Spent 170. Left for future spending 30. Right? 170 plus 30 is 200. Done deal. So number 3 was spend. We did. 60, 70 is 130, 140, 150, 60, 170. So now let's go over here to priest, and we'll flesh that out rather quickly. Priest is 1 degree ease divine, like we mentioned in the opening salvo. Adventuring talent is heal, so we have heal. And there's a heal chart. We'll get to that later. So he's healing at a tier 3. Which is actually kind of nice. Role play talent is respect. Respect. He gets some respect. Not from Timber Sprout. So keep that in mind. Timber Sprout's a unique little beast. Not that they didn't disrespect these guys, but they have a different way of looking to the divine than they did. So he gets respect in general among the Celts of Albion and maybe the elves. Who knows? But he will roll with ease when negotiating or communicating with those who would respect the divine presence. So it depends. If they don't care about his beliefs, they won't respect him. Combat talent is bless. What bless does is bless adds ease to your party members, if successful, on their defense. So roll with ease to grant 1 ally ease on their next defense. Add 1 degree of difficulty for each additional ally you wish to bless. So bless 1, it's easy. Bless 2, it's a standard roll. Bless more, it goes to difficult rolls. And then, of course, there's different variations of that if you're being inspired by the bard and, you know, maybe you have ease somewhere else. You can stack and minus those. And the last bonus talent is divine light. So divine light. Divine light. So respect, ease, bless, ease, divine light. What does divine light do? Hopefully you can see that. Sorry. Divine light. Call on your faith to blind a foe for 1 round. Foe must be adjacent to the priest. So if there's a foe adjacent to the priest as an action, he could use divine light and blind the foe with divine light, kind of a protection for the priest. As far as, since we're on priest and it might be skipping to number 11, we'll just put the equipment down real quick and then we'll go back to number 4. Equipment, holy symbol, holy journal, and any armor and weapons he's proficient in. So you know what, let's say that for 11. I don't really know what he's running right now. We'll give him a journal though. Something he and his father wrote up as they were out in the wild studying their faith. Okay, number 4 is how much is left. We have 30. We already did that. Number 5 is upgrades. So the upgrades, we had 2 to coordination, taking him from 5 to 7, 2 on mental, 5 to 7, and 3 on physical, taking him to 8. I believe the next thing to do is calculate the scores for defense. So defense is mental, 7, and of course, that's why we do it in this order, because if you're looking at calculating things, you usually use the score when calculating. The targets are more for in play. What do I need to roll to succeed? That's the targets. So the score here, mental, 7. Coordination, 7. Divided by 2, 14 divided by 2 is 7, and then minus his encumbrance. So we're going to be 7 minus, we don't know yet. I'm not sure what kind of armor this guy's going to run. Number 8. Looking for an 8 somewhere. Oh, 8 are the targets. So to calculate a target, we subtract the score from 18. So 18 minus 8 is 10. His physical target is 10. 18 minus 7 is 11. 18 minus 7 is 11. And then his defense, we don't know yet, so we're going to have to get back to that. Let's see what kind of armor this guy's going to be running. Level 2, maybe his father. Maybe these guys have enough faith that they're not really going to armor up. So as more of a cleric would be the one armoring up, the druid might not be. So let's just say he's running some, I don't want to do hide either. Leather. Leather is no encumbrance, 0 encumbrance, and absorbing 1. And no shield. So hey, there you go, 7 minus 0. 7 on the defense score, another 11 in a target. So when he's defending, he needs an 11, which is pretty good. Okay, number 9, offensive tier. P plus C, physical plus coordination, is 15. And I think that's tier 2. Let's go check it out. I'm spinning down in the PDF here to find out what 15 is on the offensive tier chart, which I think is like page 35. Tier 2, bonus 3. So he's running tier 2. He can use tier 2 weapons. If he uses under his ability like a tier 1 weapon, he just loses a point on the damage to the overall. So the bonus damage for tier 2 is 3. So when he is in melee, he's going to have a 5 to the overall. And at range, he only gets the tiers damage, which would be 2 if he's using a tier 2 weapon, or 1, tier 1 weapon. All right, next. And we're almost to the end here. Number 10 is health. 2 physical, which is 16. Half of mental, which is 3.5. Rounded up is 4. 16 and 4 is 20. So number 10 is health. He has 20. Long rest, he'll use if you're in between sessions and he's got some heals that need to apply to a long rest, or if he has some heals that need to be dealt with in the off season. That's where we use those columns. Okay, number 10. Number 11, loot. He doesn't have any loot. He does have, however, a holy symbol. So he's got a druidic symbol on his bracelet. He uses a bracelet. And as he's adventuring now, he's going to want to use that to remember his dad who's not adventuring with him. And then, of course, he has his journal. I think that's good enough for equipment. He can find stuff and gather stuff as he goes. No loot. That's 11. Leather armor. Weapon. What kind of a weapon is this guy running? Ooh. I really have no idea. I actually should have grabbed a mini for this, because I usually like to look at a mini and see what he's doing. Let's give him a mace. Let's be a little tropic there. Traditional. Tier 2 mace, yeah. So he's using the physical ability for that. Damage is 2, and if he's obviously in melee, which he most of the time will be, that's a 5, baby. So 5. And I think that might be it. 11. 12 might be on the back. We have his progress. Any notes? We'll put down father. Kind of a druidic hermit. Mom died at early age. Okay, no enlightenment, so this is it. All right, and let's see what else. We use this over here for armor. He's not running a shield, so we don't need 2 different numbers. We'll just put 01, so he's getting leather absorbing 1. He gets hit for 4, he takes 3, and there's our priest hermit. We need a name. We need a name for a priest hermit. Well, I don't think it's gonna rhyme with Ted. We have Ted, Ned, and Fred. Let's go with something different here. How about Arthur? And he might go by Art. All right, let's take one more look before we buzz out of here. Number 12 says each weapon will add a certain amount of damage. We took care of that. Number 13, armor will add damage absorption. We took care of that too. No encumbrance, 1 absorption. And then use the back of the character sheet for their journal entries, milestones, enlightenments, and notes. That's it for our priest, hermit, Arthur. He'll join Ted, Ned, and Fred. And next time we'll do a scout, and I think we still need to do a bard. All right. Until next time, peace.